Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the matrix. Subscribe.
This video is for the education of melanated people. While everybody is lighting their fireworks, screaming Happy 4th of July, burning, polluting, emitting so much chemicals in the sky, I personally never really cared about it being a day of freedom. Because freedom for who? We're just gonna forget that when this holiday kicked off, there was only freedom for one group of people. Oh my gosh, excuse me, let's just honor the 13 colonies. Because we should just respect that natives' homes got took over by colonists. White Americans celebrated the freedom of political independence while supporting the enslavement of black people. In the 1800s, as melanated people, we didn't know how to feel about the 4th of July. So we used it to celebrate it in other ways. So we as a people tried to find other ways to celebrate our independence. In 1841, black communities came together for a parade to celebrate the abolishment of slavery in British colonies. And white mobs started to attack with violence, like literally harassing these people. And I use harass as an understatement. In the 1850s, black people were trying to integrate into the police force, so they held a parade. And again, white mobs attacked them. Throughout the 1800s, black Americans have used the 4th of July to argue for their freedom. But we were harassed, got bricks thrown at us, and all types of stuff. So for all of my people who celebrate this day, lighting fireworks and all that, remember that this holiday was never for you. And when you did try to celebrate it in your own way, you got harassed, bricks thrown at your head, your place is being caught on fire. But you know, most of y'all probably don't care about this, so stay dangerous.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Matter of fact, I want you to prove me wrong. You now have people saying that since CERN shut down, time has been going much slower. Pattern recognition will either make you look crazy or make you early. And this CERN timeline is really starting to bother me. Because CERN shut down June 29th, 2026 on a strawberry moon, all the way until 2030. Within days, you have people saying the exact same thing. The days feel slower. Something feels off. Now, maybe it's psychological. Maybe we just all feel like since CERN switched off that switch, things feel different. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
Before they turned this thing off, people were saying time was going very fast, which I would agree. And today was super, super long. Seemed like it took forever, and I was able to take a nap as well. And before that, I was having trouble taking naps, and I was having trouble sleeping and waking up super early at like 5 a.m. But now, since this particle collider has been turned off, I noticed that I've been able to sleep.
I just told you in another video, you got to remember, CERN fired up the Large Hadron Collider in 2008. Within that same year, Wall Street collapsed. The financial system almost broke. Also, in 2008 is the first time that we ever started talking about the Mandela effect. Then you fast forward to 2013. I need you to jump down that rabbit hole and see what happened. Numerous things happened. But one of the most recognizable things was what happened in Russia. That massive meteor that exploded right over Russia. This happened in 2013 when CERN shut down. And then we fast forward to 2018 into 2022. And we all know what happened through those years, right? Pandemic, lockdowns, chain chaos, economic meltdown. What I'm saying is, now that CERN is gone, what's going to happen? People are saying they can sleep now. People are saying that days are longer now. What do you think? I'm out.
What they're doing is creating a virtual antenna in the sky that radiates extremely low frequency signals that travel worldwide and can be heard in the deepest depths of our oceans. This virtual antenna is called a ionospheric Alvin resonator, IAR, is using the ionosphere as an antenna. So it could be considered a geophysical weapon. Heating the ionosphere with high frequency radio waves will produce Alphin waves and magnetosonic waves, MS waves, standing oscillations of the geomagnetic field lines which behave as strings with ends fixed in the ionosphere. So when you move it up here, a standing wave can occur along these magnetic field lines, and compressive magnetohydrodynamic waves, magnetosonic waves, come straight through. Now, magnetosonic are the lowest of low frequencies there are. We're talking 0 to like 1 hertz. right here, you're going to see spectrum for HARP ULF start experiment, ambient noise. There's the Schumann resonance right there. And then 60 hertz, you can see now HARP has been turned on. Do you see the difference? This was our ionosphere, naturally occurring, nothing happening. Ambient noise, they call it. Now they turn HARP on. Spectrum at HARP ULF start, noise increase by 10 to 20 decibels between 0.7 to 10 hertz. And our Schumann resonance, our heartbeat of our planet, has now disappeared. It's gone. And there's now a spike at 60 hertz, which I don't know if you know this, but happens to be the same tone that's in your wall, in your electricity, that drives you batshit crazy.
Okay, you guys, let's get weird. So, just a few days ago, CERN turns off, and I don't know if it's just me, but the days seem slower. Call me crazy, I don't know. Is it the fact that we are aware that it turned off for the next 4 years, going into 2030, or is it really slowing down time? That is the question. And if you don't know what CERN is, it is a project based in Switzerland. It's a collective of multiple countries coming together to build this thing called the Large Hadron Collider. Now, what does it do? It takes subatomic particles and smashes them together almost at the speed of light. The reason they made this is because to replicate the Big Bang and find out the secrets of the universe, studying dark matter, etc. And I'm getting a ton of messages where people are saying, hey, why does the day feel slower? And I can attest to that. Not to mention, there's been reports at CERN where they said they've been opening up or creating microscopic black holes. So that sounds safe. Now, this shutdown is very interesting because they shut down the same day we had a strawberry full moon. And this seems to be a literal ritual only because pattern recognition. Remember a couple years ago where we had that crazy eclipse on April 8th, 2024? They were running experiments the same day, and not to mention Peter Higgs, who discovered the God particle in which CERN actually found later, dies on that same day. Then there was a bunch of weird, crazy stories that happened on that day of the eclipse. I mean, does nobody find it pretty odd that they have a statue of Shiva in front of CERN where they did rituals and Shiva represents destruction and rebirth? And I think people tend to forget that the science community was actually against this because there's been multiple lawsuits against CERN trying to shut it down, but to no avail, being that we're not in that group, America. And another fun fact, since CERN has started in 2008, that's when the Mandela effect actually started. This was actually founded by Fiona Broome. She wrote a book on the Mandela effect after it fired up. I mean, you guys, we can all agree that Smokey the Bear was always Smokey the Bear, and now it's just Smokey Bear. What? I don't know. All in all, let me know what you guys think. Is time moving slower for you, or is it just a placebo effect? Let me know.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day was a ad slogan for Kellogg's Corn Flakes back in the 70s. And people are still perpetuating that ad slogan.
Cereal was invented by the Kellogg's brothers, and it was actually these companies that convinced people the healthiest way to start your morning was a bowl of cereal with milk.
All partnered with the United Fruit Company. They paid doctors to tell people bananas were a rich source of potassium and to say that the perfect meal to start your day was a bowl of cornflakes with a slice of banana. That's how the famous combo came about. And they went so far as to put a coupon for a bunch of bananas in every box of Kellogg's Corn.
So Edward Bernays, known as the father of propaganda, also related to the owner of Netflix, which is very interesting, right? Because Netflix is a big propaganda machine. Edward Bernays launched the breakfast campaign because the meat industry came to him and said, dude, we're slacking on meat sales. What can we do? So he's like, it's too hard to convince the average person. It's too hard to convince the individual. I need to go to the people that are already sources of authority. So what did he go do? He went and convinced the doctors, the pediatricians, that breakfast was the most essential diet, with all these studies and all these case studies and all these scientific papers that were written and all these experiments and all this bullshit. It was all paid propaganda. So Edward Bernays launches the breakfast propaganda campaign and turns breakfast into a rousing success.
Never in human history has there been a time where you had a refrigerator and a pantry full of food. People People say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I agree with that. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. What I disagree with is that it has to be in the morning.
Breakfast is break fast because they don't want you fasting to regenerate your body. So they programmed you to eat dense food in the morning. And then when you're tired by 10 p.m. you need poison coffee for more energy. All you need to do is to fast till 2 p.m. Then have fruit, something easy on the digestive system. 60% of your energy goes to the digestive system. So when you fast, this energy can be redirected into regenerating your body and producing stem cells. Your body's encoded with self-regenerating technology. That's why you cut yourself, it heals automatically. It's the same with illness. Your body knows how to heal the illness you have. You just have to move out of your acidic environment to an alkaline environment. So your body doesn't waste its time fighting off the toxic food you place in. Instead, it can redirect this energy into healing the body. Healing is not an overnight process. It takes months of an alkaline diet and fasting every week, and using these herbs to detoxify your temple. Meat, dairy, and these unnatural foods all cause inflammation in your body. Your body only recognizes what was here on the day of creation.
This is going viral right now, and it is bad news for pizza lovers. Watch this.
Bad news for pizza lovers. Domino's crust just tested positive for a pesticide used in lice-killing shampoo at the highest level recorded. The bombshell lab report also named 4 chemical fungicides contaminating the dough itself.
Domino's didn't just contaminate the crust. They baked 7 pesticides into every slab. That crispy base starts as fungicide-soaked starch, gassed with phosphine, a chemical used in rat poison, then flushed in tap water, leaching 7 pesticides through every kernel. And that's nothing. That residue is bleached and stuffed into petroleum-based plastic before it's crowned with 14 chemical additives at the restaurant.
All right, so this is absolutely wild, but not surprising by any means. Most of us know that our food, if we can even call it that, is laced with things that should not be put in our bodies, sprayed with chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, all of this junk that is creating a toxic overload in our bodies, unlike generations before. But listen, we are not helpless. There's so many things we can do for the health of ourselves and our families to keep our toxic burden low, to keep ourselves healthy, out of doctor's offices, and thriving in this crazy toxic world we now live in. One of the things my family and I do is we daily detox with a binder called zeolite clinoptilite that actually pulls radioactive particles, herbicides, pesticides, heavy metals. It pulls it safely from the body and then will flush it out. This is a non-negotiable staple for ourselves and family. We also deworm a couple times a year. We absolutely can thrive in this day and age. It takes being mindful and taking those intentional steps. If you have not yet begun your detox and deworming journey and you would like more information on what my family and I do, alongside information on third-party tested product that we use and love, comment the word guide. I will send it right to your inbox. You can also just go to my website. That's at the top of my page. You're going to see a link. Everything is there for you as well, okay? Listen, our health is in our control. It is not in theirs. Now, if you love these tips, then follow along with me at Strong Low Tox Mom. Last but not least, go have yourself a fabulous day.
It's one big massive plan. Salvage yards all around America right now are burning up. Now in salvage yards, they have cars, they have a bunch of different old parts.
Vintage cars.
Now here's the thing. For one, major outlets aren't reporting on this, but I've been seeing this from independent journalists and independent outlets. They're saying there's tens of dozens of these yards burning up. And they're like, this is the weirdest one. So there's one in Idaho. It's called L&L Classic Auto. They're permanently out of business now because of a massive fire that took out 9,000 cars.
9,000 cars.
That's a lot of cars. So they had 10,000 cars on their lot. 9,000 of them are gone.
We had 10,000 cars. And if you look at 90% of the inventory, we probably lost 9,000. There's not one part of this yard that wasn't affected somehow by this fire.
Now, they had all these classic cars. In insurance, you can't cover these cars. So insurance, they're out of their SOL. So in 2021, there was an investment infrastructure bill that was signed by Biden. So this infrastructure bill has language. Now, if you look up section 24-220, in that part of the bill, it has an AI system that is in every single car. It's federal law after 2026. So 2027 on down It's mandatory.
You gotta have it in your car.
No, it's gonna be in your car.
Oh, it's gonna be in your car.
They meet the manufacturer and they're like, put this shit in the actual car. And then the dude in the video was like, I just don't understand how this happened, because it was like all over the place. And it's like, how do you lose your whole inventory like that?
Right. And they're saying that a fire called median fire that's happening, right? And it burnt up over 8,000 acres. So I think it's just collateral damage because it did do damage in other parts.
Yeah, but that just sounds convenient.
Yeah, sounds convenient.
Covering it up.
And if you look into other salvage yards, there's massive fires just randomly happening and it's burning up these salvage yards.
Now, do you think they're using the same thing they use in the Maui fires to burn these cars up?
Good question.
Because I don't think that they're actually just sending actual arsonists like old school. I feel like they're doing that shit from above. And they're probably scanning, all right, where's all these, where are all the junkyards at? We got to start burning them. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that going forward from now until next year.
Yeah, because it's a bigger play. So if we're talking about DEWs, so for one, they could do that from space. That's the thing. Trump posted a picture of him in space in a ship where he presses a button and he's literally sending DEWs and you see explosions behind him.
Literally.
He posted this.
He literally posted that picture. Now it's making sense.
Now it's making sense.
Because we're like,
he's telling you.
He's fucking telling you.
And it makes sense because it does play into Agenda 2030. Because if we're talking about a whole totalitarian system to where they're controlling everything, you got to control transportation too. And it benefits who? Tesla. Who's his boy?
Tech Mafia.
There we go. We got the technocrats covering every position.
It helps all of them, really. Amazon.
Is one of several ELF wave transmitters located all over the globe. The United States owns and operates 3 of them, one in Gacona, Alaska, another in Fairbanks, Alaska, and one in Arecibo, Puerto Rico. Russia has one in Vasilursky near Nizhny Novgorod, and the European Union has one near Tromsø in Norway. Working in tandem, these transmitters could potentially alter the weather anywhere in the world, changing the jet stream's course entirely, triggering massive rainstorms or droughts. Even hurricane steering would be possible by heating up the atmosphere and building up high-pressure domes that could deflect or change the course of hurricanes. The U.S. government is firm in its position that HARP is just an atmospheric research facility. But is it more than coincidence that since going online, some experts have reported strange weather anomalies, including massive floods, hurricanes, and earthquakes? HARP went online in 1994, and construction continued until 2007. There are reportedly a total of 5 known ionospheric heaters, including HARP, in the world today. There are possibly 20 other ionospheric heaters in existence all over the world. There is no conclusive proof that any of them are being used as weather weapons, though they do have the ability to manipulate the ionosphere. And that brings us to something else. December 2001. Scientists at NASA's Ames Research Center in Palo Alto, California make a discovery. In studying more than 100 earthquakes with magnitudes of 5.0 or greater, they find that almost all of them are preceded by electrical disturbances in the ionosphere. Could there be a connection to HARP or a facility like it?
To say that HARP can artificially excite the ionosphere in such a way to cause an earthquake, well, it alarms me.
Let's talk about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and what really happened. Like everybody else assassinated, we've been told they were killed by lone wolves and internal feuds. If you follow the money and the intelligence files, a different story emerges. Shocker. This map leads from the FBI's basement to the Middle East. You want to see the playbook? Let's look at the strategy of tension. 1964, Malcolm X leaves the Nation of Islam and goes global. He hits Gaza. He writes Zionist logic. He ran Zionism as colonialism and dollarism. Suddenly, he's not just a domestic agitator, he's a threat to Western geopolitical interests. Who was watching? James Angleton, CIA counterintelligence chief and the primary liaison to the Mossad. He's running Operation Chaos. The CIA is actually tracking his moves with the Arab leaders. They realize if Black America aligns with the Arab world, they lose their U.S. outpost and moral shield. Say bye-bye to Isn't Real's most moral army. This is where today's playbook gets mastered. How do you stop a revolutionary? You don't kill him yourself. You fund the extremists on his flank. Fact, the FBI and NYPD had dozens of informants in the Nation of Islam. They didn't stop the hit, they stoked the fire. Here's a parallel. 10 years later, Israeli military governors admitted to allowing Islamist groups to form to weaken the PLO. That's the Palestinian lobbyists. It's the same move. Empower the religious radicals to destroy political opposition. And there's King. For years, he's the safe bridge. He calls Israel a marvelous display of democracy. 1967 changes everything. Six-Day War happens. Just like today, King starts questioning the occupation. He cancels his pilgrimage to Jerusalem. That's when he pivots to universal human rights, and suddenly, the safe bridge is broken. When King starts being a useful ally and starts threatening the global war machine, he becomes a liability. $50,000 bounty appears in St. Louis. For some reason, the FBI pulls back security in Memphis. The shot is fired by another three-name assassin, who magically gets a passport and a flight to London. Who funds a petty thief's international escape? Same people who benefit from a movement being leaderless. Listen, the dream and the revolution are being hijacked by the same people using the old tactic divide and conquer. Just like FBI targeted the Panthers, the truth is out about Netanyahu. His administration spent years propping up ISIS and Hamas. They made him a strategic asset to fragment Palestinian leadership. Just like they did with the Democrats and Republicans in America. Just like all the wars back in the day. Napoleon. What they do is they fund both sides. Funding the villain avoids the peace table and keeps the profit of war continuing. It's not a theory, y'all. They find somebody with something they want, create a terrorist group, fund it, make it represent whatever religion or nation they need. They create the chaos, and then they provide the relief. After taking your rights and your money and your freedom. Every leader who has opposed this, native, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. My name is Static G. Follow me for more.
Wow.
Are these safe?
No. As recently as 1985, so anyone born before 1985 only had 3 vaccines. There was DPT, which is diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, and polio. That was it. There were 3 vaccines. Now there's 16. And there's multiple doses of all 16 of those. So the difference is that back then, if you added up all those vaccine antigens, like MMR is 3 vaccine antigens with 1 shot. DPT is 3 vaccine antigens in 1 shot. Polio actually has 3 viruses in it, so it's really 3 viruses in 1 shot. Well, each one of those individual viruses are called antigens. And if you added up all the sum total of antigens that children got before 1985, if they got all of those vaccines, they got 33 vaccine antigens injected into them by the time they started kindergarten. Up through 2010, they got 156, and now there's been more vaccines added since then. There are measurable amounts of chemicals. There are milligram amounts of gelatin in the MMR and in the chickenpox vaccine. There are 63 different types of chemicals in these vaccines. Now, not each vaccine has all 63 chemicals, but if you get all the vaccines, you get doses of 63 different types of chemicals, some of which are known carcinogens, some are known to cause asthma, the list is endless. Mercury is mostly out of most of the vaccines, but it's not out of all of them. It's still in the multi-dose flu shots that we start giving infants at 6 months of age. And we give them every year and all the way through their life. So you're still getting doses of mercury. There's tons of aluminum. When I say tons, I mean milligram amounts. I mean, that's measurable amounts. It's not trace little amounts. When the mercury thing became a really big deal, I said, yes, it's a big deal. But I felt a lot like the voice in the wilderness standing off to the side going, it's not just the mercury. It's aluminum and chemicals and all these vaccine antigens, all these viruses and bacteria, stray viruses that are known to cause cancer. I mean, all kinds of gobbledygook inside of these things. And I was the director of an emergency department for 12 years, and I used to give out tetanus shots like I thought they were a special kind of candy. And once I started doing this investigation, and I've spent more than 12,000 hours and 11 years of my life investigating this. So anybody that has a question, I'm your girl. Anybody who wants to debate me, I'm your girl. Because there is nobody that has dedicated as much time in their life, mostly uncompensated time, to get the information out to protect our children and our adults. There are vaccine-injured adults all over the place. They get the pneumonia shot, they get flu shots, they get hepatitis B. The military gets about 26 different kinds of vaccines and multiple doses of it and investigational vaccines. So vaccine-injured adults are real too.
2 years old, 2.5 years old, a beautiful child, went to have the vaccine and came back and a week later got a tremendous fever, got very, very sick, now is autistic.
There is no hell. There isn't. I've done thousands and thousands of cases. There is no hell. Hell is an invention of the church, and you can see why. It was never in the Bible. It's something has been invented. There is no hell. A loving God would not do that to people. You are allowed to make all the mistakes you want. You're allowed to come back and do it again and again till you get it right. They don't punish you just because you make a mistake and throw you into an oven. It doesn't work that way. You have to realize you have made mistakes. Earth is a school. But it's a school, you come here to learn lessons, but it's a school where you can't skip a grade, but you can have to repeat a grade. You don't get it right. You have to come back and do it again until you get it right. You can't go from kindergarten to college. It's impossible. You have to learn the lessons, and the lessons are not easy. Earth is a school where you learn emotions and limitations. Those are the two main things, emotions and limitations. Those are not taught on other planets. This is a very challenging planet. So you come here to learn these things, and it's all important lessons. I tell people, everyone has bad things that happen in their life. That's life. But what did you learn from that bad thing? If you learned even one thing, that was the reason for the experience. If you say you didn't learn anything, you're going to have to come back and repeat it again, the same circumstance. It's all teaching us something. And that's what it's all about. It's not easy. Life is not easy.
Working.
I'm connecting stupid little boys. Stupid little boys. And I takes him to Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island. Boy!
Sharing isn't enough anymore. What, kidnapping children? I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die, and I'll skin anyone who gets in my way.
In 4 more years, this world will see depopulation. But people gonna say, they don't got nothing to do with me. More bullshit. So you mean to tell me they gonna depopulate you, your family, your friends, your future, but hey, it don't got nothing to do with you. They gave us warnings, but so many of us are distracted with entertainment. Did you see the BET Awards? Did you watch the World Cup? Did you see what Cardi B was wearing? While we focus on shit like that, the people that control everything, they say maintain humanity under 500 million people. Last time I checked, it's 8 billion people. So just imagine 8 billion people going like this, and there's only 500 million people left. I ain't no math teacher, but that's a big ass subtraction. They wrote everything out on Georgia Guidestones. July 6, 2022. Guess what fell? The Georgia Guidestones. When these stones fell, they was telling humanity our plan is about to start. But so many people never read it. But it's cool, don't worry about it. I got you. These are the 10 laws that's going to guide us in the future. The main one, 500 million people. 2, improving fitness. 3, unite humanity with a living new language. 4, rule with passion. 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. So I was reading these, and the one thing that really caught my attention, number 10, do not be a cancer to the planet. Leave room for nature. Last time I checked, people became a cancer to this planet. They cut down all the trees. We having weird ass storms. It's a heat wave over here, but it's snowing over here. Nothing is the same. We are completely off balance. And that's what the elites are looking for. As long as we are destroying this planet, they're going to wipe us out. But some people are going to say it's not the people, it's the elites. Really think about that. I never seen no politician cut down a tree, but I've seen regular working people like me and you do it. We complain about chemtrails, but it's regular people flying those airplanes dumping chemicals on us. We complain about our fruits and vegetables being poisoned, but yet it's regular people spraying poison on our fruits and vegetables. It's never the elites doing it. So their plan is to make us destroy ourselves. And it's working.
6G will destroy our body, and as someone who has a degree in chemistry, biology, and mathematics, I'm going to explain to you why. So 5G works at a different wavelength, and 6G can go into the terahertz range. Now, once we get into the terahertz range, you can look at this research article, it can actually affect the calcium-gated ion channels in your body, okay? And if you know anything about chemistry or biochemistry, these sodium calcium ion channels are responsible for literally everything in your body. Neurotransmitter release, hormone transcription, gene transcription, literally the action potential of your nervous system, muscle contraction, anything you can think that has to do with the body at an electric level is involved with these channels, okay? So once they roll this shit out, they can quite literally do whatever they want to our bodies if we're not protecting ourselves.
I told y'all before that this new sun is going to unalive most of the population. Most of the population got the COVID-19 vaccine, which turns your DNA to mRNA. What is mRNA? It's a receiver technology from the supercomputer. And so as y'all notice too, they start putting up 5G towers around they gave y'all the vaccine. Now they're putting up 6G towers, and they're turning up the notch on these computers. And see, what this new sun is going to do is going to unalive most of the population, right? So this is a new sun. This is not a regular sun. I was just outside in the sun. Y'all see the tan, right? I be tanning. I get darker. The sun gives me downloads. It evolves me. It helps me grow. But it's going to unalive our enemies. This is why it's important as us, or the chosen ones, for us to do the inner work. Right? For us to keep our heart as light as a feather, because your heart must be as light as a feather in order to join this new world. Right. So that means abiding by spiritual laws of Maya. A lot of people are out of tune with spiritual laws, so they will suffer and they will be obliterated. So this is why you see in Europe, thousands of people are dead. This is just the beginning. Summer just started, like cancer season, like maybe a week ago. Summer just started and already 1,000 people dead. By the end of this summer, I predict most of the population, they're turning up these computers, the heat and the power on the supercomputers. The heat's going to make it worse, and it's going to either make people go psychotic and turn into the Walking Dead, which they already are, because the Walking Dead is people who are dead consciously, right? So they're going to be walking around like fucking zombies, or it's going to fucking unalive you. And it's already been 1 week in the summer and 1,000 people are dead. This new sun is going to unalive most of the population. Right. And this is the reality. This is prophecy, because they said the last will be first and the first will be last. Who has been last? Right. It's deeper than even just race, because a lot of people think just because your skin look like mine that you're going to make it. I literally had a dream about this. I had a download about this. Most people are not going to make it into this new world because they don't have a pure heart. Your heart has to be as light as a feather in order to evolve. It don't matter how much money you got, how much Louis Vuitton you got, right? If you're wearing Michael Kors or the Bugatti car or your mansion or how many kids you got or how many wives and how many shoes and clothes, none of that matters. Right? You can't hide who you are to the Most High. What truly matters is that you have a pure heart, a heart as light as a feather, because you cannot operate out of fear and love at the same time. And so what they do is they fearmonger us. They try to keep everybody operating in their lower selves because they know if you're not operating out of fear, you have to operate out of love. But I'm letting y'all know, as the true chosen ones, as long as we continue to do the inner work, that inner fire is going to awaken and it's going to unalive all our enemies. It's going to unalive most of the population, because everything that's happening on the physical earth is a reflection of who we truly are as the chosen ones, right? We control this realm, right? So the more we become pure, the more we do the inner work, watch how all our enemies start to fucking decease. Ashe mayat, ashe mayat, ashe mayat, ashe segment, ashe segment, ashe segment.
There is a large number of missing children in Venezuela following the major earthquake, and people on the ground are sounding the alarm that something nefarious is going on.
Disturbing thing that's going on is that apparently they are taking traumatized and orphaned children to use for child trafficking.
And parents that are looking for their children and being interviewed by the news are telling some strange stories.
We also have one of the people who's quite affected. I would like you to first give me your first and last name, please.
I am Noraima Perez, a waitress at the Camurive Clinic, and I am here affected because my 4 children are missing. My daughter Aranza Lopez was taken out alive, but they took her out with a last name that is not hers. Aranza Vergara appears in Social Security. I have looked for her in all the hospitals in Caracas, and she does not appear where they transferred her either.
And if you're like me and you're questioning whether or not this clip is real because the woman being interviewed has an Indian accent, I asked Rock and the footage appears to be authentic, and what she's saying is that her daughter's name was changed to something else. And now she's completely missing from the system. People online are also reporting very strange listings on Vinted, like this one, a 3-year-old pizza rabbit for $6,300, which is very reminiscent to what was happening on Wayfair several years ago. The organization Save the Children is on the ground and also asking for donations. The same organization that Hillary Clinton has a long and rich history with. She's advocated for the organization, she's raised money for the organization, and she's also collabed with the organization through the Clinton Foundation. Any claims that she used this organization to traffic children is just a conspiracy theory that started in 2020 along with Pizzagate. And we know how that turned out. The reason I'm sharing this information is because there's still 100,000 children in Venezuela missing and an additional 680,000 children that need family reunification. So if there is evil at play here, it's important that we shed light on what's going on in hopes that it stops. If you see a listing like this on Vinted, Wayfair, Pinterest, or any other app, report it immediately. Praying for all of the people in Venezuela that have been affected by this earthquake, and especially the children. As always, let me know what you think about all of this down below.
What's happening in Venezuela right now is not from a natural disaster. The same weapon system that caused the earthquakes in Haiti is the same weapon system that was used in Venezuela just before the earthquakes. Chavez warned of this weapon system all the way back in 2010.
Chavez is saying that the U.S. Navy launched a weapon capable of inducing a powerful earthquake off the shore of Haiti. He adds that this time it was only a drill, and the final target is destroying and taking over Iran.
Did you catch the last part? He said the final target will be Iran. Same trafficking operation that they had in Haiti to send kids to Epstein Island is the same thing they're doing in Venezuela now.
What's going on is that apparently they are taking traumatized and orphaned children to use for child trafficking.
Hermanos, si tienen familiares que tenían niños allá en La Guaira, lo más recomendable que yo les digo ahorita, vayan para allá, porque si sus familiares y sus hijos quedaron a la intemperie, hermano, Mr. Pizza, yo no puedo hablar mucho de esto porque esto es algo de la él a nivel mundial, puedan a uno por hablar de estas cosas. Pero aquí en Venezuela está operando eso y tienes que cuidar los peluches, porque Mr. Pizza se lo puede. Entonces, están robándose los peluches para venderlos, hermano. Así que